Street Genius Radio. And then you'll be able to see Gabe on TV and me. We're waving to you now. And Jonah.
So thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you so much for having us. This is so special.
Really quickly, I have another guest here, Tasha. You want to say hi?
Hello.
Tasha's here holding it down for the Public Allies, right?
Yeah.
I met her a year ago
Yeah.
for Public Allies. I was also Public Ally alumni, so she just wanted to come and see how the sausage gets made. So
Yeah.
This is my life. Welcome to the madness. What's happening? So today, I wanted to bring in Ann Hendrickson to talk about her startup, which is called Work-It Coworking Space, located in St. Paul, Minneapolis. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, I know people may disagree, but in my opinion, it's pretty much the dopest space, co-working space that I've ever been in my life.
Thank you.
But I haven't been to Google yet, and I haven't been to the Facebook headquarters, but I don't know.
So we're up there with that elite squad.
And so, if you could maybe tell us a little bit about your co-working space and how you got started.
Absolutely. Is this the mic that I'm on?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Just lean back and be comfortable. This is super powerful. It has superpowers.
Oh, awesome.
So it can amplify everything from far away.
The future is now, isn't it?
It really is.
That is so cool. Well, Work-It, I'm so excited to be here and so excited to talk about it because it's kind of a revolutionary thing in our own way. But what we are is, you can talk in a minute. We'll ask you about your favorite dog. We're a small local co-working space, but what's different about us is that the typical office works against your health. Sitting is the new smoking, and most people are forced to sit because we kind of have to make a living because our babies need food and whatever.
Those darn babies.
They're takers, seriously. But, we need to feed them, and so people can't stop working. But when we're sitting all day, it's the worst thing that you can do for your mental health. It's the worst thing you can do structurally. It's the worst thing you can do for your sleep. Yeah. It causes everything. So we have invented an office where you can move as you would do what would typically be considered sedentary work. So all of our desks are sit-stand at the touch of a button. I didn't want anything where you had to crank it because at that point, they do make those, but that's hard with multi-user during the day. And honestly, would you just keep sitting rather than mess with it?
I would.
Yeah.
Well, and I can vouch that being forced to sit in one space for an extended period of time, I mean, that is a war crime, isn't it, under the Geneva Convention?
Seriously.
But because you're working, they're like, it's okay.
You're getting paid, so it doesn't count.
No, I used to work for a call center. I'm not going to say what phone company they are. I'll just call them K-North. I worked there for 4 years, and it was so serious that if you took too long in the bathroom, the call center boss would come in there and be like, what are you doing? Be like, we need you on the phone, we need you on open, we need you taking phones.
You were away for so many minutes and seconds, and 5 other people walked away the same time you did.
Straight up. Straight up. So, I mean, I feel like workplaces really take advantage of human beings. It's like, you have a dog and a cat at home, would you want them to sit in one place in a cubicle for 8 hours straight? Come on now.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Workplaces aren't but trying to get the best out of people by putting them at their best is a relatively new concept. People don't understand it. Well, workplaces evolved from slave labor. It was never it was never thought of that it was all just about force and whatever you can squeeze out of people, and then when they collapse, there's always more. This thought that people are human beings.
That's very commoditizing.
It is. But I think workplaces are starting to learn that you'll have less absenteeism, you'll have less time in the bathroom if people are moving. Hello. But you really do get your money back on it. And we're a co-working space, so it doesn't work that way for us. Jonah is chiming in. It doesn't work that way for us, but we have walking desks and biking desks, so you can literally get your steps in. I get in about 30,000 steps a day.
Yeah. I mean, you were over here. What did you think, Jenny? Oh, wait a minute. What happened with my phone? Do you have it?
Yeah, I do. It's right here.
Who's doing the Facebook Live? Oh,
The Facebook Live is right there.
no, I'm sorry, the Instagram Live. Okay, no, I was gonna say, yeah, we were over using the co-working space last week, and we actually put together quite a what is it, sweat?
Yeah, I know.
You must have been on the bikes.
Well, no, we were just walking. I mean, we're just not. We're Americans. We're not used to moving and like having to sit up and stand up, like so hard. But yeah, no, just that showed an example, just like how out of shape we are. And I work out like 3 times a week, but I remember you telling there was a sign at the co-working space that said that working out is not going to undo the damage of sitting for extended amounts of time.
Absolutely not. They followed, I think, 10,000 adults. It was a huge sample size for a really long time, like 10 or 20 years. And they took the group that exercised for 7 hours or more a week, which you or I would say, oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in 7 hours of cardio a week.
No. They're rock stars.
Yeah, they're that amazing group. And of that group, the ones with the sedentary lifestyle were twice as likely to die of any cause.
Any cause.
Any cause.
So me sitting at home on Friday nights is not going to stop me from getting shot in the club. That is kind of mess. I've been wasting my life for no reason. Anyway.
Well, there is that. But if you want a longer, more quality life, moving more, no amount of exercise is going to offset long hours of sitting.
It's okay. It's okay. Look, this is real life. This is what I try and tell my audience about, is that regardless of what you hear about me, what successes I go through, what happens in my life that's good, this is the reality. I'm a mom, I have kids, unplanned things happen, and you just keep it moving. And that's one of the reasons why, I do let guests bring their kids, because these are the challenges that we face as female entrepreneurs. Like, if I was to put together a bill for all the income that I have missed out on because of childcare, sick children, I feel like I could retire.
Oh, seriously. That's why so many moms get into that multi-level marketing, in my opinion, because we're so desperate for the flexibility.
Yeah, it makes us vulnerable.
Seriously vulnerable.
It's like, when you think about it, income inequality is basically, it's part of the system that takes advantage of people, because if women had more income, well, we wouldn't be as prone to being sexually harassed and abused. If we had, as much support as we needed with our childcare, we would have, as much income as we needed. So it's like,
oh yeah,
if there's anything we can do to interrupt that cycle, that puts us in a position where, we're either being taken advantage of or not being treated properly, or possibly even in dangerous situations. So
well, we sure appreciate being here, and Gabe's been so excited to be on the radio, the whole class. It was a big thing for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is hard to be a mom and an entrepreneur.
Well, yeah, and when I came for a visit the first time I met you, I remember you showed me the nursing room.
Yeah.
Nursing/nap room.
Yeah.
For a year.
Oh my gosh.
Tell us about that.
Nursing for a year?
Yeah, I mean, just as a working mom.
As a working mom or whatever, the first time, I have 2 daughters, an 11-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the first time I was not as successful with breastfeeding because of the just of the support, and then also I was at the time working at a bank, I won't name it, but they didn't have a pumping space, so I actually
does it rhyme with Key Largo?
I'm exempt. But anyways, I was pumping. They gave me a chair and they brought me a fridge, and I pumped right next to the furnace. So there's the silver furnace, and then there's me.
Oh God!
You know, remember that? But I didn't have the break schedule that I needed. I worked on a new time, mom, breastfeeding. I wasn't eating and drinking like I was supposed to.
People don't know it's hard making milk.
Oh,
it is.
It is. And you need to drink a lot of water.
A lot
of food.
Hard to these streets.
Yes.
Can I keep these kids fed.
Absolutely. So the second time around, I was at a different financial institution. Before I came back, I had a meeting with my supervisor and HR, and I was more prepared to tell them like, hey, I'm a working nursing mom. I need to have 3 pump breaks a day. You tell me based off of our schedule and capacity in our department, when can I pump? And then I took that time, went home and pumped, and then there was a space. Yeah, 2 nursing rooms with nice, nice leather seats and a banister and, and a little music if you wanted to put your iPod in. So it was a more relaxing space. And then I had that schedule of when I was going to pump and that support, like, yep, I'm pumping. And I pumped, nursed my daughter for over a year.
I only made it 6 months, girl.
Yeah.
Once she started getting teeth and then she thought it was cute to bite me, I was like, I'm either going to slap this baby in the face or I'm going to quit. And I was excited.
You can't give up. I got bit 3 times.
No. Our society generally frowns on slapping babies in the face, but if you're like running around biting boobs, like you gotta expect that someone's gonna respond, What?
Forehead flick.
Forehead flick or something.
Back up.
Well, no, but just the simple fact that you had that space set aside, and it was so calming and it was clean.
Yeah.
I remember when I was nursing, first of all, I had to almost fist fight my ex-family-in-laws to be allowed to nurse because nursing was so backwards that, like, my kid was missing nutrition and, like, she wasn't going to be big enough. I'm like, you guys can take your genetically modified giant babies and stuff them.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then, well, I was self-employed at the time, so I was able to have like a nursery that was the other room, and that was the only reason why I made it as long as I did, just to be able to like nurse in public places. I had people, like, I would cover my child up. Number one, when that's rude. But I would still get, people would have the nerve to say something about it because they're like, I can still tell you're feeding a child. It's like, woo, I lost it.
They wear swimsuits that show basically everything, and nobody bats an eye. But God forbid you feed your child.
Yeah, why don't I throw a napkin over your face while you're eating?
Right.
Just cover you up with a blanket.
Oh, go ahead.
It's true. It's like I breastfed my daughter one time in the summer. It was hot. We had a barbecue and I had this big old sheet on her, and she was sweating underneath it. And my auntie says, "You're just better off just popping it in her mouth." Right? Like, what's this extra sheet that's purple that's bringing extra attention? We wouldn't even know. Just slid it over and do it. Our heads mostly covering it. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just trying to, protect my whole family. But like,
but that's what I'm saying. Being a mom being a woman, you have to shield the rest of society from your influence. Like, God forbid that I should feed a child in public. What about what about periods? God forbid I should have an accident, because that never happens to anyone everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But if women want to cover up, I want to emphasize that's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
That is your choice. But if you should not have to.
Right.
It should be a personal choice of the mother, whatever her comfort is. The other thing is that a lot of our bonding with our children and a lot of their neurological development happens over food. So when you're feeding the bottle and you're smiling and talking to the baby, if you're covering up when you're nursing, they're not getting that smiling and talking and that interaction with mom that happens. That's an important part of development. So
do you think that's the reason that Americans are psychos?
I think there's a lot of reasons, but I do think, and that's why Work-It has the holistic picture of health, so that you can nurse in comfort. You don't have to use the nursing room, of course. We obviously support nursing wherever, but if you want that privacy for pumping and comfort, that it's there for you. It's a piece of it. The sedentary lifestyle,
right?
We have, like you said, weird body hang-ups about women. Not men. Their nipples are A-okay with us, but it's a lot.
It really is, and that was one of the things that really attracted me to being a part of the space. Just the fact that like there was space for me to actually like be a person, who leaks at various times. And whose phone goes off during video shows, who brings her kids to everything, and I felt like at the space that I was located at, there wasn't space for that. Number one, it was super cold. Number two, it was stressful. Number, like, I'm a Virgo, so I'm gonna get away from these lists. It's like, you didn't do this, and you're trash because of this, and this was garbage too. Let me, oh, you thought that was all right? No, it was no good. No good. It's all bad. But that's how I felt. And so I think that you put a lot of thought into what people need from the space, rather than what the space needs from people, or what the job title needs from people.
Well, thank you. I sure tried. I really wanted a space where people, like you said, could be themselves, but also to have a space where your whole health is at the center of it.
Right.
So that, because we believe that everyone is entitled to have the chance to be the best person that they can be.
Right.
And you don't have that chance, like you said, if you can't be free to have your body.
Oh my gosh, this has been such a stimulating conversation. I forgot to take a break, but I suppose we should do something like we do something like that every once in a while. So really quickly, I'm going to take a break, and you'll hear from our commercial sponsors. You are listening to KRSM 98.9 FM, the Southside Media Project, and this is Street Genius Radio. Straight at you.
Okay, Baba, you need to go out. You guys need to go out to the gym. No.
Oh my goodness.
You have to be still and quiet if you're going to be in here. Let's go out to the gym. Just like a kid. You're like, hold on, you said one thing. And you better go find that one thing. Get it on.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's hard for me to concentrate. Yeah. You guys pushing on me and making noises. Okay, but let's go out and you can say with that big girl in there, okay? No, I have to handle it.
I'm not there. Okay, then you need to be still.
No, it's okay. Go ahead and handle that. We'll take it out here. All right. And we are back with Street Genius Radio. All right, so I'm here with Tasha. Tasha's here with me. We got Jenny in the house. We got Zach holding it down. We got the whole family here. My kid's here, but she doesn't care about me apparently. She's 11.
I said hi to her.
She's a confident woman, confident in herself.
I said hi to her outside, and she's all like, do you know me? I said your name. I said, hi, Sophia.
Has she been mean girling you?
She mean girled me. She turned around and was all like, do you know me? And I was like, yeah, you came to my house. I have a daughter.
She said, do you know me?
I just like, forget it. We're all kids. And I kept walking.
No, but I did teach her that stranger danger a little bit. Like,
she was good. Because she sure didn't know me. She just at my house a month ago. So, I don't know.
Well, yeah, okay, so we're having fun. We're here with Ann Hendrickson, the co-founder of, well, you're the sole owner.
I am the sole owner.
Female-owned enterprise, co-working space, Work-It Coworking space in St. Paul, Minnesota. Do you guys, I mean, like, how does membership, what's your business model like?
Well, it's like other gyms. We're kind of a gym and co-working space hybrid is how I would describe it.
Yeah.
We do have fitness equipment as well as the walking desks and the biking desks. And look at me choosing to stand in
I know, I was like,
sedentary.
Look at you. Let's do this.
Yeah, did you know that your insulin production just tanks when you sit?
I did not know that.
Oh, yes. Wow. And all the electrical impulses to your legs stop. The part of your brain that does its best thinking gets disengaged, and your fight or flight, your amygdala engages.
Well, I've noticed that though, because remember the time I did that one whole show standing up? I felt like my energy was way higher. I felt like people could tell. Listening to it after the fact, I could tell like I was more engaged than just when I was like sitting still. And I don't know, were you the type of kid that was always like filling up stuff and like,
I still am.
And, so I used to get in trouble for that a lot, which is obviously why I don't mind, the kids moving around because it's torture. It is a kind of torture.
Well, like you said, it's a violation of the Geneva Convention, and yet employers do it. But anyway, so for our business model, we do have memberships of individuals and small firms. So it's a month-to-month membership. We do have some annual contracts now, and my vision was everything would be month-to-month, but
Right.
some of the bigger firms have been asking for longer
Well,
contracts.
hey,
So.
if they want to pay you more over a longer period of time,
Yeah.
I'm not against that.
Exactly, yeah. So I just,
I say go with it. I say go with it.
Guaranteed
Yeah,
income.
but it's right, yeah, but we have 24/7 access, so you can work when you need to. We have a lot of nonprofits, so they have meetings in the evenings and on the weekends.
That's
Okay.
how I met Ada, our last guest.
Oh yeah, isn't
I
she
met her
great?
at Work-It Coworking.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I love her. How did that show go? Was it fun?
It was super fun. Her daughter was going to be the butt of the dinosaur, and I know that was very important. We talked about dismantling systems of oppression, white supremacy, intersectionality, tough conversations. Like, we went deep.
I'm gonna totally go and listen to that one as soon as we're done. I can't believe I missed it.
Let's talk to the kids really quickly.
Okay, Jonah, do you want to be interviewed on the radio?
Can I interview you, Jonah?
Okay.
Okay, so what's your name?
Jonah.
Jonah, that's a nice name. What are you doing here today?
Helping Mama with the radio.
You're helping. Four? Okay. So, do you go to work with Mommy a lot? Do you like Mommy's office? Well, it's kid approved, and I think that that's really important too, because just like you, my kid comes with me everywhere.
Right.
So that, having stuff for them to do. Do you watch the TV at the office, Jonah? Do you watch the TV?
What do you watch at Work-It?
Llama.
Llama. I didn't even know that was there.
Oh yeah, the books are now a show.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah, now it's a Netflix original series.
And then what's your name, sir?
Babe.
Gabe, what are you doing here today?
Mostly just sitting and watching.
Sitting and watching. What do you think so far?
A little boring on my part.
It is a little boring on your part. Television is way more exciting. That's what I keep telling these people. So what do you want to be when you grow up? A musician. So that's why you wanted to come to the radio station, huh? Your music will be played on the radio? And see, this is how it happens, is that kids learn through kind of osmosis just by being around. Like, this is a microphone, this is recording equipment. So, like, the first time you go in to record your music, you'll kind of know what it all is. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Did you know that, Gabe, that this is the same equipment they use to record the music?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and talking with us. I'm going to talk with your mom for a little bit longer. Is that okay? But I'll bring you guys back before we leave, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
And just real quick, Jonah, what do you want to be when you grow up?
A radio guy.
A radio guy, see? We are converting people daily. Lead by example.
Great.
I'll be happy to have you back over again, Jonah.
And I'm just going to be the person that does music on the radio.
Music on the radio. Very specific. See, now it's a goal, not a dream.
What's the difference?
So like I was saying.
My second daily job is going to be a statue.
A statue maker.
Oh.
You should get him over at Springboard for the Arts. There's people that helped us with that Kiva loan.
Oh, I'm excited about that Kiva loan. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to dive in and help, and I think everyone else should too. Because
Absolutely.
it's such important work that's happening here.
In fact, well, we are going to take a break here in a couple minutes, but like before the show ends, I'm going to read out a list of all the people that have donated to me thus far.
Oh, so I'll donate on the break. I did see it, and I just haven't had a chance yet.
You just go to the Facebook page at facebook.com/Street Genius Radio, and you'll be able to donate or lend $25 to our 0% interest loan from Kiva. And again, we're going to use that loan to convert our program into a work training program for women of color and minorities in technology.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, because my two interns here, my two lovely interns, Zach and Jenny, first of all, are very good looking, which is really important.
Yeah. It's what matters most,
It's what
right?
matters most. Second of all, they're paid through internship programs, kind of. Yours is through your school, and then yours is through AmeriCorps. And because that was kind of one of my key things is that I don't really believe in slavery. You know, I don't want to ask people to work for free. Volunteering is one thing, but whenever possible, I want to be able to redistribute funds throughout the community. So if I'm getting paid or getting value, hopefully everyone around me is getting value.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And that too, folks.
That too. Do you avoid sing?
Do you sing?
I sing Chrissy's Love Walking.
I think you made up that song.
I was gonna have him sing. Like, don't come to the radio station unless you're gonna be on, right?
Right?
So no, I was gonna ask you something, but I forgot what.
You really have a little bit of distraction going on.
Why don't we go ahead and go to break? You're listening to 98.9 KRSM, the Southside Media Project, and I am Amy Augustine, your host with Street Genius Radio. Follow me on Twitter at Mrs. Madviz. You can follow us on Facebook at Street Genius Radio, and also on Instagram at Street Genius Radio. I just set them up, so I'm still like getting used to saying the social media profiles. So we're gonna go to break, and we'll get it popping when we get back.
Don't know you can't make all that noise into the microphone. Come here. I've got a. Do you want to come watch Disney Junior or Llama Llama?
All right.
I thought we were gonna watch Llama Llama, but
It didn't work.
well, we don't have internet in here.
Oh man.
Oh, go get it going. Okay.
Where is it? Oh, wait.
I have
Mine works.
You're such a great radio host.
yeah. I
You're gonna
mean,
be famous someday, and we're gonna be like,
famous.
I used to know her.
God forbid.
yes, like
God
by bringing
forbid.
like world famous.
That's why you
No.
need. That's why you need to be.
No,
famous.
no, it has to no, because do not come to my house after dark and go through my trash because
Ow.
that's gonna be an iffy situation for you.
Ow.
Aww. Do you want to step out with me? Okay, yeah.
Here, mine is
My older sister used to work for Louis Vuitton
Uh-huh.
in Maui, and sometimes she would have like fancy clients, and she would be walking people's bags to their cars, and like random people would walk by with cameras, or it'd be like a drive-by only with like cameras. She would drive by, stop, click, and speed up.
That's terrible. Like,
She met Mike Tyson once. She had to tell him his credit card got declined.
ooh, that's awkward.
This is
No
like
way.
early 2000s.
She must have had ginormous ovaries. There's no freaking way.
She's about my size.
I would have been like slipping my nose and run away.
She told his bodyguard.
Oh
He delivered the
man.
message.
Oh
He
man.
used a different card, and that one went through. So it was fine.
To buy Louis Vuitton.
On Maui. The most expensive mall on Maui.
Oh my gosh.
That's serious. No, I have a little bit of social anxiety, so it can be difficult for me to like be with a lot of people sometimes, or like crowds of people. And for a while, I was having a repeating nightmare where like I would go outside and there'd just be like all this paparazzi, and then like I'd be like, the fuck? What's happening? Where's my eyes come from? You know, like what's happening? And then somebody put the microphone in my face and like, is it true that the mayor wears your underpants? There's like some cool crazy stuff, like where I'm like, I don't know that guy. What the ad? Oh, is it? And we are back. You are listening to Street Genius Radio, 98.9 FM on KRSM, and we are having a random conversation, but you can only hear the full conversation if you're on the Facebook Live. We're just basically being our complete selves here today. So, Tasha.
We can continue with our conversation about healthy with what's not sitting.
Yeah,
or
not
whatever.
sitting.
And I
not
know
sitting.
that, and one of the places where I mentioned about where I breastfed at, they had ergonomical assessments.
Mhm.
You know how to hold your shoulders
Sit.
and have these stools if you're gonna sit, and how to adjust your mouse and have a pad, and all those different things or whatever. But
No, I'm learning from you.
okay, but ultimately we had the standing desk.
Yeah.
And I got them first because I had head, neck, shoulder strain from repetitive motion of typing and on the computer and sitting and typing. And so I was one of the first to get them or whatever, and then they ended up doing it for our whole department.
So they got it for you because you were having physical challenges?
Physical challenges.
So that means they had to.
So they had to. They had to. It was required. They had to work with comp on their butt.
Yeah. But I mean, what if they had just started out with walking desks and working desks? Don't you think that probably might have been a better route to take?
It would have been avoided because this place existed for 125 years before I got there.
Ooh.
Key Largo
Bank.
No. But they existed, for years before I even started. So like, what about the previous employees that were there?
And all the damage they
that they went through, and mine was only after a couple of years.
Yeah.
But it benefited me, and I was more able to focus and stuff like that by standing up versus sitting down. So I think we should have them everywhere.
I do too. And being healthy should be a part of living. You shouldn't have to change being a human to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Yeah, you're speaking my love language.
We are. We're talking about how important it is to be able to be healthy and do what you do best, just kind of as you are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure from our society to always upgrade everything and to be extra at everything, or one size fits all, I feel like they make us socially awkward for no good reason.
It's so true, and it's like we've gotten into this bad place where something's got to give.
Yeah, we should all revolt. That's the reason. Okay, let me clarify. Do not go out and riot or break things.
But stand up, literally.
Yeah. I mean, they say to stand up every hour or whatever and stretch and then come back. But do you really do that?
No.
I think about myself today. I was in the middle of I had to get some things done, and I was envious because I was supposed to go over your guys' space today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've been checking it out. I've been liking it on Facebook.
I've been spreading
the
word.
Oh, we appreciate it so much.
So amazing.
Oh, thank
So
you.
amazing. So relaxing.
Girl. They got the Kerrygold butter in the fridge. What is that?
Kerrygold butter! It's butter from Ireland. I know that's dicey when we're in the middle of dairy country, but it tastes so much better.
It's okay.
Yes. I'm just saying, I went from a place that was basically a food desert to having Kerrygold butter in my fridge with all these different kinds of good muffins, and I was it's so good.
Yeah. Well, we don't have the muffins every day.
Not every day.
Yeah,
But
but we do have good food there.
Yeah, you did just have free lunch, didn't you?
We did yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah, we have a think tank lunch every month that's just for entrepreneurs to hang out and bounce ideas off each other because it can be kind of lonely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we are making this happen, everyone.
Yes.
Hashtag mom life.
Hashtag.
Yeah, we have
It
a
was
think tank.
colorful and just comfortable.
Well, and I think that's one of the benefits from having more women in the workplace is that we do have certain standards. We may not be able to meet them because of a particular situation, but we're always going to have a desire for it. And so now that you're in the position to make those decisions on what's available and what kind of environment you work in, now you're making it available to more people at large. And I feel like that's why we need female leadership. A lot of the things that I do are based around user experience. So how do people use websites and applications? How can we make that easier, faster, better for them and for the company? But I guess this is a new position or something. People didn't ask that before. They were just people didn't ask that. They're just bam, here's our website. Do what you got to do. We don't care. And that to me is bizarre.
Oh, yeah.
But the simple fact that women are no longer a part of technology, that we were, basically edged out, that's a whole other show. You know,
Yeah.
that's the reason that we have these workspaces and technologies that people can't actually use comfortably, like Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, people are killing people over Facebook and like not eating and like, what is it, peeing in bottles over Facebook because they don't
Really?
they don't want to stop looking at the feed or whatever, you know.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Facebook can be extremely addictive.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if a woman had been a part of that design process, like, they'd be like, yeah, I need a break. And like, no, you know, I can't gain 10 pounds just playing on Facebook for 6 months.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody
We
would have
don't
asked
have
that
it to give.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, somebody would have asked that question and kind of changed that design. So yeah, so I know that you mentioned that you're part of a global movement to change the way that people move at work. What exactly is that?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's global yet. It's called Movement Squared, and we don't have a Facebook page yet because I was supposed to set that up and with all my free time. But it's what I found after I opened Work-It because I had sold another business. So I was looking for what to do next, and I was getting really kind of obsessed with the problem of our sedentary lifestyle. And I was watching, like I have a friend who is just an amazing, beautiful, wonderful person, but the person struggles with depression, and as a result, there's all these cascading effects where she can't share her amazing gifts as well as she could.
Right.
And the person I sold Downtown Dogs, that was my other business too, he was on a 1,200 calorie a day diet because his wife had already died and he was going to die if he didn't get healthier.
Oh man.
Yes, and I was
terrifying.
like, oh yeah, I'm like, and here this man, he'd worked so hard to provide for his family his whole life, and it had ruined his health to the point that he's hanging on the edge so his children won't be orphaned. So I know. So I was starting to get obsessed with like our sedentary lifestyle and all of these horrible effects that didn't have to be.
Right.
Like there is a way out of this. We don't have to always sit just because we always have.
Right.
So I invested in Work-It, in building that. I found the property, and then I found some other entrepreneurs who had also made huge personal investments. One into developing, it's called Active Station, but it's a brand of treadmill desk. We have one at Work-It. You can try it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another woman, the owner of Walkway Workstation, that's trying to get treadmill desks into public spaces like the airport and places where we sit and wait.
Yeah.
And again, we
that's
just
a good idea.
Yeah.
Right.
We sit because that's what we've
Or the
always
doctor's
done.
office.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Like her whole thing is we should be moving while we wait. So all of our hearts were really in kind of this integrating movement into sedentary activities because we wanted to see people flourish, and we thought about the collective good that our society could do if we weren't sitting as much. So we called it Movement Squared because it's the movement.
Yes. movement.
Yes, and it's merging movement into your life.
Okay.
Because that's our other thing is we're not going to get any more time. We're not going to get less demands. To say people should just get up and move more and walk more, you know, you can't get blood from a rock.
Right.
So it's got to be integrated into everything we do, and that's what we all have in common. So we started the movement, or Movement Squared.
That is a fantastic idea. I mean, as you were saying this, I had the other idea. I don't know how feasible it would be, but like, if we had these stations, these walking desks and stations installed everywhere, well, those are creating kinetic electricity. Is there any way we could harness those and put them in batteries? And like now it's profitable to be, you know, moving around.
That's brilliant.
Like a Black Mirror episode.
You think it out loud, but it's like the possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless.
You know?
Well, because I always think about the practicalities of it. Like, yes, angels and gumdrops are wonderful, but you know, like how can we actually actively get rainbows and angels everywhere?
Yeah.
Right.
How can we increase the price? How can we interweave it into society? No, I don't know.
But you're right. I mean, you hit the nail on the head that it has to be profitable for somebody, or it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be always a few people, but it's not going to happen on a large scale
Right.
unless it is. But here's what I think. I think you should have Active Station or whoever bring a treadmill desk in here and do a whole show.
Yes!
A treadmill desk.
Yes! That would be awesome. I want to do that. I'm going to talk to Brendan. I hope you're listening. You have so many ideas. I would love to have a walking desk here because, like, that was what I wanted to do. Was like I had it set up here before so I could like talk while I was standing up and like we could all move around. And I like random dance parties and things like that. Oh man, I'm so sad about the music I didn't bring. It was gonna be popping.
What was it gonna be?
It was gonna be I had some DC on there with Jaheen, Stay Together. Woo! I had what is it? DJ Khaled.
Okay.
You're smart, real smart. I forgot that song's called. And then I had what is it? That song with Nicki and Lil Uzi Vert.
I can't think what you're talking about.
There's one part where he raps and he says, "I like the girl so much, I wish I never met her." And I was like, "Oh no, he didn't rip off Krayshawn. Krayshawn is this white girl who raps."
Yeah.
He said something like, "I'm 6 years." I was making all these connections and stuff, and so like that's why I like the song. I was like, I'm not gonna tell nobody though, because he's shady. Like,
Do you guys have music like something,
At Work-It?
Yes. Or like people can plug in their headsets,
Yeah,
to the computers while they're.
we do not stream music.
Okay.
We have white noise. You
Okay.
have to kind of do one or the other, otherwise it's like dead silence
Right,
and it's
right.
too quiet and then so
Yeah.
Okay.
I went with the white noise versus the music just because neurologically it provides better focus, and like you said, people can always plug their own headphones in
mm-hmm.
and listen to whatever I love the stuff that you need.
I love international music and people singing in languages I can't understand but have like bass.
I know. I came down to talk to her, so she turned off the music, and I was like, no.
We got a Tiwa Savage fan over here. But yeah, no, it's a totally different vibe over there for sure. If you're looking for space and you're over in St. Paul and you feel like you want to improve your life, visit co-working space.
Yes, it's coworkit.com, but it is fun. It's like, I just want to change the world. I want every desk. I want, like in the future, I think this desk we're sitting at should be floating so you
It
can
should be.
Yeah.
stand it up and sit it
Yeah.
down. And we just don't even think of things as sedentary anymore, and that everything is designed for, like you said, for human beings, for what we really need.
Well, and you think about it, I mean, even a hamster has their wheel in their cage, but we don't get a wheel.
Right?
It's true.
Okay, that's
true.
so depressing. Okay, let's talk about something else. So then,
But then it's changing.
It's changing.
different. It's starting to change. But anyway.
no, I have nothing else to say. That's basically where I was going. So again, you're listening to Street Genius Radio on 98.9 KRFM, Southside Media Project. We are living life live and real, and that's what it is. So.
I feel so bad because you were on the verge of a really good thought, and then I cut you off.
No,
And
they're all, it's in there. It'll come back when I'm falling asleep.
you're not on air anymore.
No, but I was thinking about all the different ways that you can use to impact your creativity. And I know, like, typically, sometimes people will turn to, like, drugs or alcohol to make themselves more creative. But you can take a walk around your neighborhood and have a conversation, and that is going to amp up your creativity. And
Absolutely. Your vagus nerve that travels from your prefrontal cortex, that's where your creativity is throughout your whole body, gets stimulated when you walk. So walking, that's why sometimes you get ideas when you walk to the bathroom. You come back. Walking will stimulate your creativity much better than any substance on it.
Well, I found that sometimes when I'm working on a project and like I'm trying to find a solution, I get frustrated and I want to break my computer. Rather than breaking my computer, I just take a break and walk around, and then when I come back, it's like something has clicked to where now I can do what I needed to do.
And that's a literal system clicking with the right part of your brain. Your center brain is called your amygdala, and that's the traffic cop that decides if you're going to be stressed or if you're going to be creative. When you sit, you engage that. It's your fight or flight response, and you're much more likely to be stressed. If you stand up, like you said, you're clicking, you're disengaging from that and engaging your prefrontal cortex, and it's very soothing
I
and
am
stimulating.
blurting out here. She said prefrontal cortex. No, I'm saying,
Sorry,
like,
did I get too nerdy?
No,
We just
no,
lost every listener
no.
there. They're like, oh,
This
it's that
is
boring
great.
lady.
No, we need the fact that backup now what this new movement is, you know, especially here.
So it's all about education.
Yes.
I'm the buzzkill of the show.
No, we have to be educating the public. That's what we do here. You know, just encouraging people to think outside of the box, to be yourself. And because the thing is that everybody can't be good and bad in the same way, right? So we're all made different for a reason. So just like go with that. How much of our lives can we save if we just like quit fighting who we are and like quit trying to like be someone that we're not and fulfill expectations that we don't have, and it's just a bunch of senselessness.
Seriously, think of the world you're putting out there that you're imagining.
Oh God, now I'm gonna get maudlin. Maudlin. Maudlin is when you go overboard with your sorrow and grief. Oftentimes it's accompanied by alcohol. You can get maudlin just because, like, you just kind of like start spiraling down into whatever.
I had never heard of maudlin before.
Well, you learned something new.
Right. Well, she said it's an education show. I'm learning.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're almost to the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching this and hearing this. I don't know what to say besides I'll do better. I'll try. I can't guarantee that. Look, just we're getting it together.
It wasn't her fault. It
It
was.
got me to thinking about like what if Work-It was in school?
Yes.
You know, like this would be amazing. Because you know, some classes are getting rid of like the desk and you know and stuff like that, instead of being a little more creative with the workspace. They got me to thinking this week with my daughter, trying different techniques to help her with learning the states and capitals. And so she was sitting at the stand up, and she's like, "What?" And I made her stand up and to repeat to like get her to learn long-term memory, use a long-term memory to remember the capitals and states, and she did a lot better than all these years. She was in 5th grade, sitting at a desk, at a table, doing everything. I didn't even think about like Work-It and think about like standing up. Like, what if we had that?
Standing up actually
you
physically
know,
changes your perspective. What if we actually changed our perspective instead of just talked about it?
Yeah.
Exactly. And actually, Gabe's class has, in schools, they call it flexible seating, and you guys have flexible seating, don't you?
What's
kind
it
of
like?
stuff do you have?
Stools,
You have wobble stools.
Okay.
What else do you have?
ball chairs.
Yep, the ball chairs.
So you get to like rock back and forth like that on them?
And you have a standing table, don't you?
Yeah, we have a standing table.
And what else?
A kneeling table.
Oh.
So his teacher is amazing, but she invested thousands of dollars of her own money. And so they have a little coffee table that they can kneel or floor sit at, and one they can stand at, and different alternative seating. So, like you said, they can, and they're learning to self-regulate and learning what they need to do for themselves to learn. So,
Wow.
it's really amazing.
That is, and what school is this again?
Matoska International in White Bear Lake.
Okay.
It's an awesome school.
Wow. Wow. I mean, it's great that the teacher would go to that length to make sure that her environment was the proper one to nurture these kids.
Yeah.
My question, though, is why would she have to do that out of her own pocket?
It's enraging.
That's just how it is in education. You know, I just had someone call me at work asking for funding for classroom supplies. You know, and I'm like, you know, we're in the age that if a teacher wants it, they have to invest it themselves.
Wow.
And when they retire, they either take it home or they gift it or resell it. My daughter had a teacher years ago who retired. And so she went through, you know, and had to put a post out to whoever, you know, everybody at the school, like, hey, who wants these tables, chairs? And she, you know.
They get taken up. My dad was a teacher, so I remember going shopping for school supplies with him.
Yeah.
You get his little 30% discount.
Yeah. That's not
very
bad.
far
Wow.
from supplying
That's
classroom
put it on
equipment.
video.
Yeah. Oh. And then other things, like the other things that add up, like the tissue and sanitizer. And,
Well, and they buy
You know?
food for hungry kids and shoes for kids that don't have them and winter coats. Yeah, I read that teachers spend like $200 to $500 of their own money per year just on things like pencils and school supplies.
yeah. Yeah, so never imagine like the whole, nicer workspace that's, allows children to be more creative, and that's a little bit more ergonomically, correct or advanced for a regular standard classroom.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I was in elementary school and the big thing was open spaces. They're like, what we're gonna do? We're gonna knock down the walls.
How did it
learn? I mean, I don't know. It was cool, I guess. I mean, I got a good education. It was a fun school. I know that. Was it because the walls were knocked down? I can't testify to that.
Which school was it?
It was called Edmonds, and it was a fine arts academy located basically in the middle of the ghetto, where they took all the brown and black girls and boys from Des Moines, Iowa, and taught them how to play cello and speak Latin.
How was that for you?
Wow. It was amazing. It was amazing. We had artists in residence that came. I got a chance to do ballet, oil painting. We took Spanish every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So now I speak Spanglish, so I'm really proud of that. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And every kid that went through there, not all of them made it to the top, but like looking back now, I know there's a couple with Microsoft, there's a couple with Dell. I seen one of them on camera with Obama. I was like, hi. But like they're doing ginormous things, legitimately. In my family alone, I'm the black sheep, but I'm an entrepreneur, a generalized, what is it, woman of mystery. But anyway, everyone else in my family, like I have two sisters that are nurses, one that's a biotechnologist. They all went to that school. It's a lot.
I don't think you're the black sheep, though. You're the brave one that does cool things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, so.
You're a world changer.
But I'm Nigerian. You don't understand.
Oh, they don't do world change?
No. Hi. I guess we have some more guests.
Yeah.
People are interested. I don't know. It is such a full house today, and I'm just like, I can't focus, and like I just feel so awkward. I just really want it to be over. But thank you for joining us. You listen to Street Genius Radio. This is Edie Augustine. We'll be back next Thursday. Hopefully we'll have it more together. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Street Genius Radio. At Street Genius Radio on Instagram, and make sure and donate to our Kiva. We're going to be transferring all of our knowledge to the next generation. I need 2 girls in this neighborhood to train on how to, be dope. Yeah. So, okay. Y'all have a good day. Okay. So, what do I do now? All right. Bye. All right.
I am so sorry.